Welcome to myLAB Life. Today I take you through the process of cryopreservation of malaria parasites. We need a freezing solution. Usually we use this F60. We need a sterile syringe. We also need syringe filters, usually 0.22 micrometer. And we need cryovials for now freezing the parasite. We have already prepared the improvised freezer box. This is made from styrofoam. Ideally we need Mr. Frosty. And we also have our 3D7 malaria parasite, which we've obtained from culture with over 2% ring stage, and centrifuged that for 10 minutes at 1700 rpm. Now we have our protocol where we aspirate the spernatant, then add 2 volumes of SF60, and then place in the labeled cryovials, and then in the freezer box, and then at the -80 freezer. So here I am prepping the glass pipette. Usually we burn it on a flame to sterilize it further, and then we aspirate the spernatant. This is actually media because this is from an ongoing culture, and I have attached the video where I've done the whole process of malaria cultures. So we get this from an ongoing culture flask, we put into a conical flask, and then we centrifuge at 1700 rpm for about 10 minutes. That way you settle down all the parasites, and the spernatant is composed of the culture media. Then here we are cleaning the aspiration tube with 70% ethanol before returning it back. Now after we have aspirated, the next thing now should be measuring our SF60 freezing solution, so that now we can add it to our culture. So we normally do 2 volumes. That means if your parasites are 1 ml, you need to add SF60 solution of 2 ml. So here we are injecting. There's usually a rubber teat at the top of this solution that is self-closure. Once you remove the needle, it closes entirely. So we get our volume. And then we need to attach this sterile syringe filter, and this helps us to ensure we are having sterile SF freezing solution added to our parasites, just to avoid any contamination. We do this dropwise, just add drop by drop. Then we mix or swirl the tube gently, just to make sure that our parasites mixing evenly and effectively with the SF60 solution. Usually for these malaria cultures, we like to cryopreserve when we find that after growing the culture for a while, we have obtained over 2% of the ring stages. So the ring stages are able to survive the very cold temperatures, so that now eventually when we want to thaw them back and continue with culture, then we can do so. Yeah, so we have swirled to ensure proper mixing. And now we are ready to dispense into the cryo vials. So we need to label. We normally label with the type of strain of the malaria parasite that we are having, and in this case we had the 3D7, and then we also need to write the date of this cryopreservation process, so that even in future when we want to thaw them back, we normally use the older ones. Because this is a process that is ongoing, we are always cryopreserving. Yeah, so we will start with the older ones. So we normally dispense using serological pipettes. Are the ones I am sterilizing here before putting them into the hood. So this biosafety cabinet is where we do all our cultures. Very important to avoid contamination of the culture, and also to avoid any release of anything that is pathogenic into the laboratory environment. So we recommend that we add about 500 microliters into this cryo vial, so that you leave the other volume empty to allow for freezing. Usually when you freeze, the volume normally increases, and you don't want to come when you want to thaw and find that the parasite is at the cap. You know, when you're opening the cap, you have gloves, the risk of contamination is also very high. So we put it at about 500 microliters. So we actually realized that we had more, so instead of just the 2 cryo vials that we had at the beginning, we actually ended up having 3 cryo vials. There was enough volume. Yeah, so this is our cryo vials now. We have 3 of them, and we are ready to put them into the improvised freezer box. Yeah, so this is made up of styrofoam, and we are improvising, and we realized that we actually needed 2 of them. One of them could not fit. So the reason why we do this is to ensure slow freezing, so that the parasites are not destroyed by the -80. So when you do slow freezing, then you preserve them. So we are ready, well packed and well labeled, and we are ready now to put them at -80. So today is one of those days I leave the lab and go to the pool to watch my daughter learn how to swim. And as I sit here, I realize the pool is a perfect mirror of our scientific journey. I see children who are just starting, holding on to the edge with fear, just like high school students, wondering if they should step into science. I also see others already moving confidently across the pool, the way young scientists at bachelor's level or research assistants begin finding their rhythm in the lab. And then there is the advanced swimmers who glide through the pool, refining their strokes, just like postgraduate students who are mastering their techniques, and also postdocs who are pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Even the coaches remind me of supervisors and mentors actually. They are steady, they are patient, and they are committed to helping the younger ones to float before they swim. And my daughter, learning one kick at a time, teaches me the beauty of starting small and showing up consistently. So as I watch them, I can't help reflecting on my own journey. And recently, I submitted my PhD thesis and it felt like reaching the deep end. There were seasons I felt like I was drowning in a sea of research, deadlines, data, and even doubting if I'll actually come to this point. But just like every swimmer, there comes a moment when you have to let go of the fear and push through and finally reach the other side. And when you do, that's the time you realize, it was actually possible all along. So now, let me just say that for sure, the pool teaches me this, that no matter your stage in science, and I know I'm talking to scientists, I'm talking to aspiring scientists, I'm talking to scientists who have already mastered their skill. So no matter whatever stage you are in science, dreaming, beginning, growing or leading, keep moving. Start where you are, trust the process, and believe that you too can cross to the other side. So my friends, thank you so much for watching this video. We've been talking about cryopreservation and just a little reflection of life as a scientist. And I'm so glad that you're part of my life and myLAB life as well. So thank you so much for stopping by. Kindly, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, like this video and share. Thank you so much and see you in our next one.